Right. Clicked echo cancellation off because I can kind of hear myself in your background.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
I think it would have been better if I'd used my headsets, but
Don't stress about it. Don't stress about it. Right. Just change the settings on that. No, that's fine. Cool. I'm just making sure. So the problem you got is that LinkedIn are like, yeah, you got to use a third-party app to go live, and then when you do
Mhm.
use a third-party app to go live, like it doesn't always work properly. I was on another one the other day with as a viewer, and he was like, he goes, he had to set up a whole new room, and he went from having 200 attendees down to like seven, because
Right.
yeah, he'd gone into the room and then came out of it, and then it closed the event down. So I'm hoping that this connects and works fine. And we've got a decent number. I mean, to be fair, this is the first time we've done it, and we've got
Right.
30 attendees that were said, like, of usually 30 will say they'll come, and of that maybe you'll have like half of those will drop out. This is what
Yeah.
I'm saying. If we do it lunchtime, we do it for 15 minutes. Most people will be like, I can carve out 15 minutes for this, right? So
Great.
let's see. Let's see. Have a good chat with Kalpesh.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Things are things are very good. He's a solid guy.
Mm.
Man knows what he's talking about. If that's the
Yeah,
way to say it.
yeah, yeah. He's a good bloke. Did you get hold of Luke from Gig?
I've not responded yet to Luke, but I haven't seen any emails come through from him either. So what
Mm.
I'll do is I'll drop him an email about Gig, because that's another good contact to have, and also there's a guy who's starting up who might need his services.
Yeah. Okay. That's good, man. I'll go live in 2 minutes. Is That's okay, right? I'm going to change the layout to grid to start with.
Okay,
Drag your screen into the middle. Your floating head.
camera.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That just to start with, and then once
Yeah.
we've done the intro, I'll move myself to the side, and you take lead. Okay.
Okay.
Oh man, that was the
So what
waiting.
we'll do is we'll go through very quickly where it is, much faster. Blah blah blah. Bang bang bang. That's it.
Well, yeah, if you no, I don't need to share the video, do I? You're going to do it. So
Yeah, I can do it because if
yeah,
this works,
yeah,
then yeah, that's fine.
yeah. Just ping through it, ping through it, ping through it. That'll be fine then. Trying
And
to see.
you can drive it by just asking me the questions basically. So what we'll do is we'll just go quickly show them about the main things. I've got a few notes here about the key differences between the two. Um, and do we start off with that or do we go straight
Yeah,
into the?
yeah. I think let's go with kind of let's go with like what's natural, right? Okay, so we are now live on YouTube.
Okay.
That's worked. I'm just trying to figure out why. Oh no, that's time differences. Yeah, yeah. We're live on YouTube. That's good.
I got someone
We're just waiting
commenting on
for
it
the
already.
link to turn on, and then we'll be live on there as well. We'll whack
Excellent.
the chat up as well, so we can see any live stream chats. All right. Right, we are 12 now. It's still saying host will start the event soon. Why is that? Oh, here we go. Click to join. Really sods all this. I hate when this happens. Right, come on. We live?
Well, someone's seen me on then sent me a Teams message about it, so I assume we are live on something.
On something, yeah. Oh, right, okay. I'm going to assume that this has set up a new room again, like it did for my friend. Hang on, I'm just checking.
Let me just ask the guy who sent me a message. Where
Yeah,
where
yeah, if you
where do
can.
you see me? Oh, he said it's on YouTube.
On YouTube, right? Okay, yeah, cool. See, YouTube's nice and easy. That always works, right? But LinkedIn Lives are just ridiculously difficult to set up. Don't know why it's not.
I think I've also signed up for a podcast with the guys Wave. Is it Wave?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna
Wave
go
is
see Dave.
Dave's wicked, absolutely brilliant. Um, I can't see us going live for some reason. Why is this not working? Because the host will start the event soon, and we've started the event, so this is getting just annoying, right? Can you see if you've got anyone on your side that can maybe check if they can get into the event?
Yeah, I'm just gonna check. Okay.
Oh, this is irritating. Sorry for the delay to the one person who is watching. This is why I did it on YouTube as well, because I knew this would happen. This is just, I've had so many people complain about LinkedIn Live.
Or just what's the YouTube live link?
I don't see that. I'm not sure if anyone else can, because it's gone through third-party app. If I click go live on YouTube, it'll just throw me into a new room.
Okay, someone's just sent me the LinkedIn URL. Sorry, YouTube URL. Thanks,
Oh,
Steve.
drop me that in a LinkedIn message as well, and I'll put it in the comments on that room.
Okay. There we go. Having some technical difficulties here with gonna get off of there so I don't hear myself back. It is terrifying.
A ton of people messaging me now as well, saying it's not working.
Cool.
Honestly, right? Yeah, we've directed people to YouTube, and now people are starting to come over. Great. Listen, that's better. And then obviously we will put out a video afterwards
Cool.
of a
I'll just
breakdown
send
of all
this
of this.
over
I'll
to
keep that
Alicia.
open for the
Post it.
case. Uh, cool. Oh, what a pain in the ass this is. And Joe, this is why I hate doing LinkedIn lives.
Okay, I'll
Put it on.
just send that across to my guys as well.
That's people that are in the room.
Gonna quit
Cool. We'll get
Teams because
started in
that's
2 seconds, and I'm just going to double check we've not missed anyone off. I don't want to sit here and just fire out messages to people, right? So, because again, we can always edit this afterwards and put it out for people to watch.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's all fine.
One
Cool.
thing.
Wicked. Tom's in. Great. Yeah, we've got 7 people live on YouTube now. So right, we'll get cracking. Apologies for the technical mix-up, guys. LinkedIn lives are absolute nightmare. So that's unfortunately another example of that. Tom, I know you know what we're talking about here. Right. So thank you for joining us, guys. We're here with Can from Avensys Tech. Can.
Hi. Hello.
Can is an IT geek basically. So I had the pleasure of meeting him on my podcast, and he's been to a couple of our curry clubs. We got chatting, and there's effectively what came out of that conversation was things like there's a lot of stuff that people are already paying for as part of our subscriptions to Microsoft Business 365 that we just don't know about or aren't using properly and properly. And so one of the things that we landed on was actually I spend money on Calendly Pro. I know there's other calendar options out there, and then he introduced me to Microsoft Bookings. And so today's going to be a case of let's look at Microsoft Bookings. What is it? How does it work? And how you can use that more effectively in our businesses rather than using the free version of Calendly or being in moron like me and paying for the pro version. So, Ken, I'm going to throw it over to you, mate. I will move to the side on the screen, and it's all you.
Excellent. So thank you again for everyone who's joined. Just wanted to quickly run through what Bookings really is. So Bookings is a calendar tool just like Calendly that comes for free as part of your Microsoft 365 subscription, like Nathan mentioned. I'm going to start off by just highlighting a few similarities and differences. So just like Calendly, you can have a Bookings page. Difference being that the URL is a bit longer, so you can always mask it using something like Bitly or if you hyperlink it on one of your emails. The other thing is that, or the major difference is the free version of Calendly only allows you to have one booking type, whereas with Bookings you can have as many as you like. The other part is with the Calendly process, you do need to go through a setup process and connect to 365, connect to your emails, connect to Teams, and so on. But with Bookings, it's all integrated already. So it's all part of your stack. So you're good to go there. The other part is the main difference is with Bookings, you also have a team bookings calendar, which is paid for on Calendly. So that's a good plus there. The other thing that I wanted to mention was, and something that most people don't really think about is the data security aspect. So picture this, right? So you have a bunch of recruiters who work for you. They've all set up their own Calendly links. And as you know, in recruitment industry, there's a lot of churn. So what happens to that data that they collect when they leave the organization? And the organization has no control over their Calendly account. Whereas with bookings, the organization has a lot more control over it and can restrict what they can and cannot do. So without any further ado, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take myself off of the camera and we're going to switch through to Fred Flintstone here in the background. And here we go. So to find bookings, you need to head on over to your Microsoft 365 homepage, which can be done by just going onto your browser and typing in portal.office.com. Once you've done that, it should take you through to this page. And on this page, on the top left-hand corner, which is over here, you have the app launcher. Now clicking on the app launcher, you should be able to see bookings here if you've accidentally clicked on it once before. If not, you'll have to click on the More Apps section here. So if you go into there, you'll definitely be able to find bookings somewhere listed around the myriad of different apps. So do try and poke onto some of these and see what they do, but today's focus is going to be on bookings. So we're going to just quickly go into bookings. Right, so I've set up a few bookings pages here for this demo. By default, it sets you up with two, a 15-minute and a 30-minute. You can go in and edit these. But I'd start my journey off by choosing my banner image. Unfortunately, unlike Calendly, this doesn't allow you to upload your own header image. So you have to choose from one of the ones that they give you as stock. Now you'll notice that I've got Fred Flintstone here. That can also be done through your Outlook. So if you jump onto Outlook and add an image, you can add your image there. Coming back onto the bookings page, where it's gone. If you were to edit one of these, you can do it by simply clicking onto it, going into your bookings form, entering in the information you want. I'm just going to hide the, well, I can't hide it at the moment. There we go. Advanced options. Okay. So each booking can have different timings. So for example, you don't want to take any bookings on a Monday or Friday, you can put it like that. If you don't want to take bookings in the mornings, you can adjust the timings. And that's different for each of the different bookings pages.
That's useful then if you're splitting your day as a recruiter and going, maybe I only do, just business development meetings between kind of the hours of 10 and 2 all week, and they're my core business development hours. So I don't want any bookings in that, any meetings being booked during that time. I don't want any candidate work in that time. That's blocked out for, cold calling activity or video generation or whatever. You can kind of separate those in addition
Yes, you
to
can.
actually having specific candidate meeting and client meeting requests, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so you can have a number of these set up. The other thing I wanted to let you know is that you have a buffer time before and after the meeting, so that, for example, we always know that meetings generally tend to overrun, or you want to kind of prep for the meeting beforehand, so you want to book that in. So when someone actually goes on your page and books it, it books you in for 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after. That can be changed to any of these things here. You can also set the intervals. So what this means is when you see the bookings page, and we'll go over to a bookings page after this, but basically, what times people can choose. So it's every 5 minutes, every half an hour, every 10 minutes, whatever you want to do. But it's limited to these things that's listed here. You can also set the lead time. So whether it's 1 hour ahead or, a custom period, which is hours or days, you can set all those, and a maximum lead time. You don't want people booking your calendar in the middle of the summer when you probably have a holiday they go to, right? The other thing that's free with bookings but not free with Calendly is the email reminders section. So you can add a number of different email reminders, right? So you can edit the content that goes in there. And you can have as many as you like, I think, but it's limited to 15 minutes before, 30 minutes before, and so on, right? Again, you can have follow-ups, so you can actually send 15 minutes after the end of the meeting, you can send a thank you for attending note that'll automatically fired off from bookings. Now, the thing is, it goes out as you, so in this case, it'll go out as Fred Flintstone. There's this here, which is slightly different to Calendly, I guess. So you have a public and a private. So the difference here is that if it's a private booking, it doesn't appear on your main bookings page. And if it's a public booking, it will appear on your bookings page. So you can have one bookings page that has a number of different things listed out that people can choose, but you can also have bookings that are private. So only people with a specific link to it can then access it. Another thing I just wanted to quickly point out to you was the location. So by default, they are Teams meetings. You can set them to physical meetings or phone meetings by just turning off the Teams function there and putting in some information there. Another thing I find useful is the categorization. Now, so on the categorization section, what that does is when you put a meeting in, on your calendar, it'll appear in a different color. So you can see here there's a calendar booking in green, there's a calendar booking in red, and that is because we've added different categories to it. So when someone goes in and books, it turns up in a different category. So coming back onto the bookings page, if I go back now, yes, that's fine. You can notice here that 15-minute and 15-minute quick catch-up, they're both public. I'm just going to get rid of this second one. So you can delete it like that, I guess. So you got a public one and a private one. So if I go get my bookings page URL, which I can copy from up there, whack it into a browser, it's only going to show me one type of booking. So this is the bookings page, right? So you got Fred Flintstone. Oh, another thing that's different about Calendly, and just to show you that quickly, I'm going to make this a public one. You should now see two there, right? In Calendly, you have to select the meeting first. It takes you to a second screen before it shows you the availability. But on this one, for example, quick catch up, I got these available dates. I put it on to 60. I got different availability. So you don't have to leave the page to come back to it, right? So again, if I go back here to, oh, where did I go? Just make this a private one. That's no longer accessible there, right? So the last thing we are going to do here is have a look at the team bookings section, which I've got up on my screen. You would have noticed the team bookings, bear with me 1 second, listed down here. So I've created a shared bookings calendar. So this is where you have multiple people in the organization who may take or attend a meeting. So I've gone into there. You start off by setting up your bookings page, which is quite similar, but you have a bit more control on this one than you did on the previous one. You can add your staff. So you add your staff. So you got Fred, Barney, Wilma, and Betty here. They have different roles. So they're team members, and Fred's the administrator here. You then set up by listing out your services, and each service is different. And you can see that, for example, on this one here, a Bedrock lunch, I've said that these are the availabilities, and it's assigned to any one of the two staff. So both of them don't need to be available for you to kind of go on to that. Whereas if we go to the cave tour, both Barney and Fred need to be available in order for you to take part in a cave tour. So there's different controls that you can put in place. And again, with the company, the business information is set up here, where you have the opening hours for the business. However, the actual operating hours for the services are dependent on what you put in on here.
Yeah, so you can keep those separate depending on the meeting type that you want and the sort of people that need to attend, in addition to the variation of whether one person can attend of a team, or if 3 or 4 or 1 or 2 more people have to be there present.
Correct. So you can choose what's available. And say, for example, maybe you've got a company day out or whatever you call it. You can put date ranges where bookings aren't available, basically, by putting in exceptions there. And all of these are separate. So the other thing is that with each one of these, you can also have their own, notifications. So you can have your notification templates that go out. And all of this is separate to your personal bookings page.
Amazing.
So you can have two different things. So it gives you the pro functionality within Calendly, within Microsoft 365, already integrated. You don't have to invite other people into it. Everything's kind of there for you without having to spend a penny extra.
Right, that's brilliant. And which license for Microsoft do you need to have to get bookings?
So the minimum license requirement for this is the business basic license and upwards. However, our recommendation as a Microsoft solutions partner is go for the business premium licenses. They have the most value for money out there, and it could save you a whole bunch more on other things like security products and stuff.
Fab, brilliant. Mate, this has been really insightful. Thank you for showing us that. I mean, you clicked on the apps thing, which had a plethora of different options and stuff on there. So, I think at some point it'd be good for us to do this again and go through some of the others that might be appropriate. But have we got any questions from the live stream coming through? I know we had one person who couldn't attend send us a quick question, so I'll just read that out quickly to get us started. So this was from Kalpesh. Apart from calendars, can Microsoft Business 365 do email signature management? I see a lot of them are in illegal formats that don't work very well.
Okay. So Microsoft signature management is possible. It's a bit more clunky than you would get if you get a product like Exclaimer. Our recommendation is Exclaimer because it's very easy to use. It's a third-party tool. It costs about £1 per user per month. and it allows a lot more flexibility than the Microsoft version does. Now, Microsoft does have a signature tool inbuilt within the platform, but it's not great.
No, that's fine. No, that's fine. Any other questions? For me personally, yeah, that was really good, especially the bit where the buffer times, because that's the bit that always kills me off, right? So I'll book a podcast in, and yeah, we book it in for the hour so that everyone's kind of aware, and I keep my diary as open as possible. But sometimes they go over, and then quite oftentimes after a podcast, I like to have at least an hour to do all my kind of file transfers and make sure everything's working and so on. And the same with Teams meetings. It's nice to just have an extra 15-20 minute buffer in between, just for a coffee break, if nothing more, right? So that's really interesting. So thanks for pointing that out.
Just one other thing that I forgot to mention is by default, these things do get indexed on search engines. So if you put the right content in, it can get indexed on a search engine and people could find it on the web. So if you don't want it to be found on the web, you have to take this disable direct search engine indexing of your page.
Interesting.
And one other thing that's probably useful is this button here. So requiring a one-time passcode to create a booking. So what that does is if you go in and book yourself in for a meeting, it requires that person to verify their email address. So it stops you from getting spammed by bookings.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So that could be very useful for people who maybe do high volume recruitment and are opening out their diary. Or, yeah, the first thing actually that you mentioned would be useful for things like, executive search firms and that kind of thing. That's really cool.
Cool. Well,
I like
if
that. That
anyone's got
sounds
any
really
further
straightforward,
questions,
isn't it?
sorry.
So that sounds really straightforward to set up. To be
It is
fair.
very straightforward. It is very straightforward, and there's nothing like. I think the main point that I want to hit home is the control over the data collection,
Mhm.
because if someone leaves the organization, then you have more control over the data, i.e., you can stop them from accessing it further.
Yeah, also, I suppose you can reassign those book. Yeah, if you've got somebody who's got client meetings and candidate meetings booked in for weeks in advance and they've left for whatever reason, it's
Yeah.
easier to be able to go in and reassign those to the right place. So, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
yes, that's done through Outlook, obviously, but
yeah, yeah.
yes.
No, but having control over that data is obviously key. Yeah. Right, look, that's great. It doesn't look like there's any questions because you've done such a great job of doing the demo. It's all straightforward. How do people reach out to you? Can put yourself back in the middle, and here's
Yeah.
your chance to plug, mate. Here's your chance to plug you.
Yes. Here we go.
There he is.
So yeah, so I'm Can. I've been head of IT manager within the recruitment space for about 10 years, overall 16 years in SMEs, before I set out to set up Avensys Tech in 2023. The reason I set it up was to bring people better value for money, basically, and an IT partner they can trust because we operate on integrity and transparency. Um, we are a Microsoft certified solutions partner for the modern work. So we do everything there is to do with Microsoft 365. So if anyone's got any questions with 365 or how to save some money on their IT, well, hit me up on LinkedIn.
Top man. Mate, appreciate that.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much, guys. Thank you for everyone who's joined. Sorry about the last minute kind of move over to the YouTube live instead. I think moving forward we probably will just use YouTube live as the format, because LinkedIn live can be so up and down. I know some of you have had experiences with that too. Thank you very much. We'll see you again next time. Ciao.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Bye. Bye.
Click stop on the live stream.
Cool.
There you go, mate. That was good.
Cool.
Success.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,